our role is to use the limited resources that we have to create incentives for people to harden their homes, to explain the reasons why, to make it easier. I think many people, when they realize the heartbreak that people go through when they're trying to rebuild their homes, when they realize that the greatest risk to a neighborhood burning down is your neighbor's home, to your home burning down is your neighbor's home catching on fire, that we all have a responsibility to each other to harden our homes so that we keep our whole community safe. So I don't anticipate the home hardening effort to be one that is very expensive for the state of California. We have a certain amount of money dedicated to home hardening out there. We should use that money to create incentives, but come nowhere near close to hardening everybody's homes. It's in people's financial best interest in the long run to harden their homes themselves.
As former chair of the budget subcommittee that focuses on resources and now chair of natural resources, these are all areas where it's the classic, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So whatever, every expenditure that we scrutinize, whether it be another, aerial resource, another helicopter, whether it be another CAL FIRE resource, whether it be one of these bills, we really look at it from that lens. And this has to be an area where we just have to do the prevention work. So it's the coordination, it's the home hardening, it's everything that's been talked about today. We think we're going to prevent help prevent these wildfires and save the state a lot of money.
It's not just saving the state money, which of course is a massive issue. It's also our insurance premiums and our utilities premiums that continue to rise. We spent a whole morning yesterday looking at the rate of equity, rate of return issues, return on equity, rate of return issues of utilities. So this is it's squeezing all sorts of aspects of our economy, and really, and working people are starting to see it squeezing their budgets as well, as insurance premiums have become a second mortgage for folks in some neighborhoods.
I think the through line through all of these bills that are part of this package is trying to ensure the highest ROI possible for taxpayer dollars. When we're talking about making it easier to do beneficial fire projects, that means that less dollars are going towards planning and more dollars are going towards the ground. When we're talking about doing low interest loans for homeowners backed by the state to get folks to be able to afford home hardening, that's about reaching more homeowners than grants alone could reach. When we're talking about solidifying the county coordinator program, you heard from our speaker that those programs are bringing in more in federal dollars for these communities than the state is spending in getting the programs going. And I think with technology in particular, you're seeing high ROI investments that amplify every single dollar that the state spends on wildfire mitigation and suppression. And that is really what motivates, I think, the package.
There was a study about what the cost of just the two fires down in Los Angeles, Altadena and Palisades. While the insurance claims look like they're in the $35 billion range, the total economic loss for the region with the rebuilding of infrastructure, et cetera, is over $200 billion. So when Eric talks about ROI, you keep that in mind, these wildfires, what we have to do is harden the structures so that we don't have them burn down. And that's all of the structures, public and private structures. And that's a great return on investment.
It's important to remember, I think where California has helped itself is remember the sources of a lot of these funds. Proposition 4, which the voters passed, and greenhouse gas reduction fund. So for example, my bill is not calling for the creation of new money. It's simply a percentage of the GGRF fund. As Assemblymember Bennett mentioned, the push toward home hardening. That in part is through an allocation we put into Proposition 4 and then approved by the voters. In an era where we are seeing devastating cuts, frankly unfair and illegal cuts from the federal government, it's important to recognize that Californians are stepping